Welcome, welcome one and all to the Innovation Hub of Niagara Falls. I am the great and powerful Innovation Strategist. Please silence whippersnappers, your phonographs, your cellular phones, and remember, no flash photography. Prepare your minds, hearts, and courage for an evening of brilliant innovations, meaningful relationships, and courageous ventures. Welcome, one and all, to QUALIaTY. Pay no attention to the man vaping behind the curtain. Humbug. Yes, it's true. I am not a green face on a 2D image. Well, now that you know my greatest secret, perhaps you can tell me something more about you. Please raise your hand if you are a business owner or someone who is fairly high up in the decision-making process. Okay, thank you all for being here. If you are interested in working with me, if you like what you see, you are very welcome to contact me after the show. Now raise your hand if you are thinking about starting your own venture or you just want to be more valued in your workplace. I see a couple of you. Yeah, okay, I see you. Each of your unique genius can be used to trade for whatever it is you need. Now raise your hand, this is going to be a very popular one, if you have just returned from teaching physics, neurobiology, and entrepreneurship in China, and you're here because over there you did some business consulting and took a company to over $10,000 a month per person. Now you've just finished your master's and you're here performing magic to try to get people to work together on innovation strategy. No, I thought that'd be a little more relatable. Hello everyone, my name, as many of you already know, is Koah Ing. Before I began educational public speaking, I was a magician for 2 decades. This is not a show about economic development, about marketing, or about social media. There's plenty of people in this audience who are more versed about that than I am. Instead, this is a show about creating memorable experiences. I have here a word, which is the title of the show. Would anyone like to try to pronounce it?
Quality.
Quality? That's pretty close. Anyone?
QUALIaTY.
Ah, very good. QUALIaTY. This guy, we're going to say QUALIA. Very good. T. Very good. So together it is QUALIaTY. Very good. Yes. QUALIaTY. It's comprised of 2 words, which are quality and qualia. Quality is how good or meaningful something is. So I have this book, which has sat with me through many different performances, and I'll be honest, it's not very good quality. We got some stitching on the back, made in not the greatest quality, but the pictures are fairly reasonable to understand. Now, qualia is the experience of being alive. In my pocket here, I have several markers of various colors. Allison, would you choose a color for me? Which is your favorite?
Orange.
Orange, that's my favorite color too. And how about Josh? Would you pick what's your favorite color? Okay. And Erica, what's your favorite color? Out of the ones remaining. Purple, okay. So you got blue, purple, and orange. My first degree was in neuropsychology, and in neuroscience we have this idea called the blueness issue, which is how do I know that your favorite color and my favorite color and his favorite color are not all the same color to us? So how do I know that your blue, Aaron, is the same as your blue, Michael? This is the blueness issue. Qualia is that experience that we don't really have words to define. It's like when you walk past a bakery shop and you smell something, you're like, oh my gosh, that's how my grandmother's house smelled when I was 3 years old. That's qualia. So QUALIaTY, by combining the 2 words, we get the meaningful experience of excellence. So can I have everyone pretend to hold up your favorite color? Grab your favorite color. Shout it out. What's your favorite color? Purple, green, yeah, a couple others. Great. And can we all imagine holding those favorite colors and drawing them in our book together? Just thank you guys. Today, we're going to try and come up with a strategy for injecting QUALIaTY into our innovations by answering 3 questions. What, so what, and now what? What makes an innovation brilliant. Not just smart, but brilliant. Question number 2, so what? What causes teams to be motivated to care and do the thing that you want them to do? And question number 3, now what? Oops, that's the wrong one. And he's smooth as always. What steps will fuel our ventures along the way? Instead of just waiting for someone to save us, how do we build our way up to that point? When a magician is creating an effect, they always start with the end in mind. You have a flower that you get to see that is presented in front of everyone, but you don't see how the seed was planted and all the DNA behind it, but you just get to experience that final piece of being alive. So hopefully, by answering these 3 questions, we will have a solution, take your innovations, and really bring them to life. Question number 1. What makes an innovation brilliant? Now here's a little known neuroscientific secret. If you're trying to solve a problem, you write the title of that problem on the page, and then you write down 20 solutions to that problem with your non-dominant hand. The first 10 are going to be super easy, the next 5 are going to be harder, the next 4 are really hard, and that final 20th is usually your best idea. Each of you, under your seats, has a piece of paper and hopefully a pen. I'd like you to write down 20 ideas with your non-dominant hand. Anyone want to guess why I use your non-dominant hand for this?
You have to think about it.
You have to think about it, correct, right? Exactly, yep, Brenda said it too. It engages your whole brain. When you write with your left hand or your opposite hand, it makes you have to slow down and you start replacing words. Okay, so is everybody ready? 20 ideas for what makes something brilliant in 3, 2, 1. I don't know what you guys are having a problem with. What do I have that you don't? This would be much more dramatic if the windows were closed. But what do I have that you guys don't have? A light on the tip of my pen. Isn't that a genius? Isn't that a brilliant idea? Man, people these days. So don't worry. I'm not going to make you do 20 items right now, but I'm glad you got a couple, because what we're going to do instead is let's have a little brainstorm. I need someone who's got better handwriting than me, which is all of you. Maybe any teachers in the audience, or teachers or previous teachers?
Yes, but I
One?
can't spell.
You can't spell? Would you try anyways? Yeah? Okay. Can I grab you up to the stage, please? Round of applause, please, for this guy. Sir, what is your name?
Hi, Mark.
Mark, do we know each other?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You sure? You sure?
Well, you're vaguely familiar.
Vaguely familiar? Yeah, maybe with shorter hair and a little bit like really shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this big.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
10 years oldish.
So Mark was my grade 5 teacher, fun fact. And now I just got my Master's of Education, so now I'm a teacher. This is a real cool thing. I'm going to give you this. And Mark originally taught me a lot of the magic that I now know. So this is a really special moment for me, and I'm glad that you could be
And a
here.
really special one for me.
Thank you. Great, thank you. Okay, let's shout it out. What are some things that make things brilliant? Let's come up with ideas together.
I got happy.
Excitement, happy, okay.
Okay.
I like these. These are good. I like these, okay?
Use your non-dominant hand.
Using your non-dominant hand.
That'd be
Right.
trouble.
Unconventional, original.
Overcoming challenges.
Overcoming challenges. Okay. Ambition, great. Trying to push the future forward. Yes, I get it.
Fills a need.
It fills a need. Yes. I like to view brilliance as something that is, like, it takes complexity and it sort of distills it to a point that the rest of us can understand. Like, I think that general relativity is a very smart idea. But if you can explain general relativity to anyone, that's brilliant. Yes? Anyone else? Grab a couple more.
Memorable.
Memorable? Man, I really wish I had an easel for this thing.
Unique.
Memorable, unique. Okay, great. Would you say that being able to use brilliance is an essential quality? Yes. If it's theoretical and you can't use it, I would argue it's also not very intelligible. Practical, yes, practical. There's a word, praxis. Praxis is to take action using what you've learned. Thank you, Mark. And I've got 2 more things for you to do before we go. Number 1 is I'm starting to draw a little man here. Okay, here's his nose, which is a big Chinese character.
Okay.
Here is a mouth. And would you draw me some ears?
Ears.
Yes, please. Like right about there, right about there. Okay, that's pretty good. A little low, a little low. I'm okay with that. I can handle it. And just before you go, I want you to do one more thing for me, which is you and I are going to have a little tug of war.
I'm 62, but go.
Okay, so come down here. And I just want you to pull me, okay? Just pull me, okay? Go. Okay, so I'm moving, but my feet aren't moving, yes?
Right.
Let me give you a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, dump it right next to the light.
It's like Niagara. Okay, so now I'm in the water. Try again.
What size are your feet?
Oh, these are big shoes.
Okay.
Clown shoes. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, my feet stay in the same place though, yes?
Right.
Any idea why my feet might stay in the same place?
You're just
Friction.
Friction, okay. How can can you read what's on the bottom of my shoe, sir? What does it say?
vibrant.
Vibram. Anyone heard of Vibram, the material, before? Yes, a couple of you. Thank you, Mark. By the way, round of applause for Mark.
Thank you.
Sit down. Vibram was a material created in the 1930s in Italy when a man had 6 of his friends pass away in the Alps, partially due to inadequate footwear. And he worked with a tire company to create a product that was durable and wouldn't move. It's on a lot of climbing shoes for our climbing gentlemen in the back. Vibram is a brilliant product because think about it. It's on Nike, it's on Hoka, it's on Prada, it's on Balenciaga, all these different brands. And does it take away from their sales or does it add to their sales? Yeah, right? Because it's symbiotic. They make more product, the companies make more product overall, and it saves lives. Let's combine a bunch of these. And again, you know, I'm still growing. I'm sure that this is not the final definition, but my definition for brilliance is that brilliance distills original complexity into enlightening practicality. Distills original complexity into enlightening practicality. Let's play a little game. I'm going to hold up an object. You tell me if it's brilliant or smart. Deal? For those of you who know me, I love this thing. It is a lantern. It has 3 settings. It has a different color switcher. And it's also a work light. Pretty good. It's also a flashlight. It's also a tripod, which extends. And get this, it is magnetic. Smart or brilliant?
Brilliant.
I think it's brilliant. I love this thing. It's great, and it sits beside your water bottle. Also, I found it in South Korea when I had no chargers that it also charges your phone.
No.
Right, it does, and not only does it do that, it has glow-in-the-dark spots, so if you're in the nighttime, you can find it. What? Awesome. No, but there is one that does colors, and there's one that has a speaker inside. Whoa. Okay, great. Number 2. This is one of the companies that I consulted with in China. This is a full computer that fits in my pocket. Okay? It has 2.5 terabytes of storage space, and it's modular, so it clicks magnetically into different components like a GPU. Brilliant or smart?
Smart.
Okay, why smart instead of brilliant?
Phones do the same thing. Already.
Right, yeah, because it's not original. They haven't fully made something new. I would concur with that. How about, let's do this one here. This is a papyrus scroll from Egypt. This material is fine when wet. It actually gets better when wet, so if it's wrinkled, you can dip it in water and wash it off. And it revolutionized paper for the time. Brilliant or smart? Brilliant. I would say brilliant, because at the time, it was a new original idea that distilled things to enlightening, because it helped all of us learn to get to this modern age, practicality. We used it. I'll do one last one, which is it's a carpenter's pencil. So when you click it, it will extend, but it also has a sharpener in the tip, so I can close it and sharpen it. But you take a look at that. You see what's wrong with the blade? Yeah. It's rusty. So is this brilliant or smart?
Smart.
I'd say smart. Yeah? Not necessarily brilliant. And to close this section off, for those of you who know that I'm a teacher, have one quote that inspires me to teach. And that quote is by E.F. Schumacher, and it is, "Any intelligent fool can make something smarter and more complex, bigger and more complex. It takes a touch of genius and a lot of courage to move in the opposite direction." Yes? I would say that's pretty brilliant. Okay, we have answered what is brilliance and what makes an innovation brilliant. So what causes teams to care? How do we get the people who are wanting to work on our projects, our ideas, to work together? Yes?
You have to understand the value.
I like that. They have to understand the value.
Being appreciated.
Being appreciated. I concur with you so much that I think that's possible to distill down to 3 core values. The mouth, I'm going to draw some nice red lips on this guy. The ears, and Brandon, see your glasses are kind of rectangular? I'm going to try and mirror that. Some eyes here, some glasses. Hope you don't mind me using me as your muse, or other way around, right? Who's an artist here? You are?
Me? Oh God.
You want to draw some hair for me?
Hair?
Just give me like a nice do. Great. Thank you so much. Okay. This, ladies and gentlemen, is mostly a reminder. It's kind of like a to-do list. I call him Toto, for those of you who understand the Wizard of Oz reference. Thank you. But I really wish that I had an easel. Parker, are you here? Yeah. Give me a hand. Right here. Thank you so much. Parker's with Greika Christian Carpentry. Thank you for round of applause. And while he builds that, I want you guys to know that when I first got to Canada, Aaron from my church has been kind enough to work with me and teach me the trade, so it's just meaningful that you guys came as well. As Parker builds that, let me tell you a story that I learned in China called The Story of Jiayuguan Pass. Once upon a time, many years ago, there was a pass between 2 mountains at the start of the Great Wall in the Ming Dynasty, and it was called Jiayuguan Pass. Jiayuguan Pass was built with the architect, who was very good at mathematics, decided he would build it with 99,999 bricks. And his supervisor says, I believe you're incorrect. If you are off by 1 brick, I will have your head. So he built Jiayuguan Pass, and there is 1 stone which sits there to this day atop the ledge in the tower of Jiayuguan Pass. And he said, there's 1 extra stone that you didn't touch. Therefore, I will have your head. And he said, no. You see, that is the keystone. That is the integrity that holds this whole thing together. And as fate would have it, the man did not chop his head and left, thank you, Parker, exactly the number of stones necessary to survive. I trust Parker with my hands every day. And Parker, I got a quick question for you, which is how many nails did you use on that easel? 5. Okay. For those of you who don't know, a nail gun, this is a There's Snow type nail gun, requires 8 nails in the chamber as safety before it can fire. And there were 8 plus 5 nails in this gun, yes? Yeah. So trusting Parker at his word and knowing that he's a man of integrity means that I can do something like this. Integrity with the mouth means speaking in such a way that your words have weight. We've all met someone who says one thing and they do another, who makes a promise and then goes back on that promise. How am I supposed to trust you as my boss, my partner, my employee, if you say something and then you don't do it? Integrity means speaking in such a way and acting in such a way where your words have weight. Let's take a break from the high octane for a moment, mostly for my sake, and talk about the ears. I've been fortunate to travel around the world and had some really, really cool experiences along the way, 2 of which stick out. Number 1 was apprenticing for a multimillionaire CEO in China, and another one was performing at the Great Pyramids of Egypt. something stuck out to me as a key difference between what happens in the East and what happens in the West. In the West, we view time as money, and in the East, they view relationships as value. Sir, if we have a meeting, generally, how long do you think the meeting would be?
Depends on the topic.
Depends on the topic. Fair. Okay, he's got a little bit of the Eastern in him. Anybody? Appreciate you. Generally, how long do we have a meeting for, Jimmy?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. An hour. Yeah. If we have a free Zoom call, it's a 40-minute. Yes? Now, if you are instead meeting in the East, like we would have these like really, really large meetings, and we'd start at about 7 p.m. and we would end, I'd say, around 3 a.m. and everybody's blasted. It's completely, Bai Joe is a killer. So the difference there is that it doesn't matter how much time it takes to build a relationship. Instead, it's about the relationship itself. I have this Chinese character here. 老板，你在这里吗？哎，你在这里。这个汉字有什么意思？什么读？ Qing. 对啊 Yeah, correct. Qing is a character in Chinese, ancient Chinese, old Chinese, which is built out of 5 smaller characters. Those characters are king, ears, eyes, one, and heart. This is a sort of phonetic translation, but the only reason that I had the opportunity to apprentice for this multimillionaire CEO or to perform with the pyramids of Egypt, where I got these cool gifts like a papyrus scroll or a cotton bow tie, is because I listen, and that a good leader listens with their ears, eyes, and heart as one. Ting means to listen. That's what their character for listening is. Isn't that insane? So imagine that when you walk into a situation, you can actively listen, like, yes, I get it, yeah. And then you can profoundly connected listening with people so that they feel like every experience is truly memorable. Toothpaste factory has a problem. They have these boxes going out, and sometimes they're too light, they're too empty, and there's a defect, so they get dinged on it. So the CEO says, I'm going to purchase an engineering company, spends $6 million installing pressure sensors so that whenever the boxes get to the production line, too late, they stop it, a worker takes them off, and the production line continues. After 3 weeks, he noticed, oh my gosh, there's no more defects. And then he looked at the data and realized, wait a second, there's no more sensing defects. We never noticed any problem boxes. So we went to the production line, and the workers had installed a $20 fan, which blows the boxes off the track because they were so annoyed that they had to stop working every time and go pick up the box. So what this is suggesting is that if you truly listen to the people with their incredibly oversized boots on the ground, then you are far more likely to generate a product, an interest, a creation that is unlike anything anyone else has ever seen, and probably do it pretty cheap, or at least more reasonably costful. I just realized I have not given him eyes, or pupils, I'm sorry. Almost forgot the eyes on Toto. What a sad sight. I should probably draw a little chin. Third and final is the eyes. And I'm going to need 4 volunteers for this one, 2 of whom like sweet and 2 of whom like sour. Who likes the flavor sour? Anyone? Max, can I grab you? Parker, I've had you on stage already, but yeah, fair enough, I owe you one. Great, 2 sours. And I need 2 people who like sweet. I know, Matt, I know you like sweet, right? And I need 1 more person. Sorry, this is not gender balanced at all. I apologize. Would anyone who, yes, you like sour? Mattia, do you like sour?
Sweet?
You like sweet? Okay, come on up. Okay, round of applause to all our volunteers. Thank you. Tashinga, what do you do?
I put things in cups and make them tasty.
That's what he does. He puts things in cups and make them tasty. And I have asked you to create a drink with me. Can you explain to everyone else what this drink is?
It's affectionately known as the protagonist sap. It is made with Novara, which is a locally made non-alcoholic bitter alternative. So kind of like, think Campari, like bitter, a little bit of sweetness, like strawberry syrup, and this magical stuff. All citrus, comprised of 3 acids: citric, malic, and ascorbic. What you generally taste are malic and citric, and when you take all of the lemon away, this is what's left. So 3 components: will go into the market.
And as Tashinga creates that protagonist sour, I would like to show you, this was probably my most selling course when I was in China. It's called Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese philosophy which means your life path or your life benefit. As you can see, there are 4 circles, which are love, what am I good at, what do I get paid for, and what does the world need? Max, could you tell me, what do you get paid for?
I'm a director of marketing.
Marketing director, very good. And then Parker, what are you good at?
Building.
Building. Okay, building things, marketing, building. Mattia, what do you love? My family? That's adorable.
Good answer.
That's a really good one. If I had hands, I'd applaud to that one. Yeah, thank you. And then Matt, what do you think the world needs more of? Love. Love. Let's try and say, what do you get paid for marketing, and what do you love? How do we combine those two?
Market something you like.
Okay. Market something that you like. You could market a dating service. You could market an opportunity to meet people that are important to you. How about if we combine what you're good at? What are you good at again? You're good at building things, and what you love, which is your family. So you're good at building things and you're good at family. What can we create as a sort of life path which would allow you to do both? It's a tough one.
Build things for your family.
Build things for family. Yeah, for families. That's really good. Yeah.
Daycare.
Build daycares. That's great. This is great. So the idea of Ikigai, and this is obviously a much simplified version, which we're trying to hit 4 people with as he makes a drink. By combining what you're good at and what you love, you get your passion. By combining what you make money at and what the world needs, you get your vocation. And by combining each of them, you get your Ikigai. So you get your profession, your passion, your mission, your vocation. This can be extended into quite an extensive and in-depth thing when you're working with employees or their bosses or their partners. Trying to figure out what people have a good aptitude to do allows you to get your team to be motivated to try and do it. Finding whatever their individual aptitude is allows you to amplify their reach. Tashinga, have you finished?
I'm good at putting things in cups. But making them equal?
Now, you guys have been watching him create these. These are non-alcoholic, by the way, I made sure. By having him create these, is there any difference in any of the 4 cups? Yes, you saw, Tashinga, be clear and honest. Is there any difference between any of the 4 drinks?
Not my sleeves.
Nothing in 3 sleeves, okay. Would each of you kindly grab one of the glasses? And gentlemen, what did you say your favorite, the flavor that we're choosing is, that we want to experience?
Sour.
Sour. Sour. Would you try it, both of you, and tell me what you taste?
Very, very sour.
That's very sour.
Very sour? Yeah? Okay. And remember, seeing people and choosing to amplify their aptitudes is pretty sweet. And you 2 try your glasses, which are made the exact same way. What do you taste?
Very sweet.
What?
What? And you're serious? You're not playing with me here, right? Huh. Wow. Give a round of applause to the volunteers. You guys want to, you 4 can sit down. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. You can sit down. Tashinga, just before you go, the 4 of you can grab your seats. Thank you guys. You can bring them if you would like them. So in The Wizard of Oz, we have the Scarecrow who needs a brain. We have the Tin Man who needs a heart. And if anyone kind of has that sort of Tin Man aesthetic, in the end of the movie, the Wizard of Oz gives the Tin Man a gift. And he gives him a clock because that beats like a heart. So Tashinga, I believe we talked about this last time when I bartended with you. This is for you. Thanks. Open it. What do you think? Look what it is.
Look at that.
It's a calculator watch. I know you were. Right? Listening and noticing people. Yes? Thank you. Big round of applause to Tashinga. Thank you for his help as well.
I'll turn it on right now.
Perfect. You can take all the things that's packaging on.
Well, I can't have time, so it's
That's true. Third and final component is what steps will fuel our venture along the way. Can anyone guess what the biggest mistake that startup entrepreneurs make?
Going too big too fast.
Going too big too fast? Okay, that's along the lines of what I'm aiming for, yes? Anyone else?
Thinking they know everything.
thinking they know everything. I think I'm certainly guilty of that sometimes. Max?
Not focusing on the right things.
Not focusing on the right things. Ooh,
Not doing your research.
not doing your research, also true. From my perspective, the biggest mistake that startup companies make is hoping that someone will save them. I think we can all be guilty of this a little bit, of like, oh yes, please, venture capital, please come and save our business, or oh, I hope an angel investor comes down from heaven and like, right, takes us out. But this is not always the case. And in those few that actually do succeed, we do hear about them on the news, but it's the same thing with our careers. We can't just hope to be the best at everything immediately, yes? Instead, we have to find a way to create steps or scaffolds. Like, Jimmy, what was that step-by-step? And now the lottery ticket.
Oh, yeah. It's like
can't-
buying 100 lottery tickets and expecting that to fund your business.
Exactly. So instead, we got to find a way to make each step along the process independently viable. How do we do that? I have a medal here, which I'm symbolically presenting to a company that has a really innovative product. And here's what they do. Anybody heard of Giant Shoe Creative Agency? A couple of you nodding in St. Catharines, yes? So here's a picture of one of the houses that they're taking photos of. And then subsequently, here's a photo that is being lit only in one tiny small area. So what this man does, by the way, he's a Leo, he's a lion. I think that's kind of great. And he can't be here tonight because it is his birthday, so happy birthday to him. Each picture that they take is independently lit and independently viable, but together they composite a really beautiful ending. When you're creating a venture, you want each step to be independently stable so that if something fails at the top, you don't fall all the way to the ground. Now, I was trying to come up with a way to articulate this with a company that exists in St. Catharines, Niagara region, but unfortunately, I'm still kind of new here. So I have trouble, and I want to explain this to you properly, but I haven't met any companies that do this very well, so I thought, why not just make one? You had two things under your desks, under your chairs, yes? What's the one where the Wolf of Wall Street goes, hey, can you sell me this pen? Sell me this pen, right? Now, there's a couple problems with pens. Tashinga, when you're at the bar, what kind of problems do you have with pens?
Well, things are usually wet.
Wet, yeah.
So, taking notes with wet paper and a pen.
Very good point. Anyone else? You all have pens below you. What other problems do we have with pens?
Sometimes they don't work.
Sometimes they don't work, right? They jam, correct?
Sometimes you don't have it.
Sometimes you don't have it, that's true. Anyone else? One more?
Caps fall off.
Caps fall off. Great point. So I'm sure many of you heard this story. Back in the 1960s, NASA decided to develop a pen with Fisher, and they built a pen. It cost them over $1 million. It never jams, it's right upside down. It's called the Fisher Space Pen. Great idea, brilliant or smart? I would say brilliant, but also smart. I would say it's kind of in the middle, because what did the Russians do? The Russians used a pencil. And correct, it is not true, because what the Russians actually did was they went and they bought the Fisher Space Pen as well. You're right, correct. But that leads to another issue. Pencils, we have, as carpenters, we use these, yes? What do we always have to do with these, Parker?
Slice them out.
Yeah, you got to sharpen them, right. So a pencil that I always have to sharpen, that requires another piece. Erasers, they're always really small. They can't, they run out so quick. Or what's another one? Yeah, so I like to read books, if you haven't noticed by the nerd glasses. And when I read books, I love to highlight, but my highlighters, they always dry out over time. So what about a pencil that sharpens itself, a pen that never jams, a highlighter that is evaporation free, and a mechanical extendable eraser with a light on the tip? Doesn't that sound brilliant? Now, it sounds almost impossible to create, yes? But what if it's been sitting in front of you the whole time? That's right, I wasn't vaping. Good job, kids. Eat your vitamins and take your vegetables. Okay, that didn't land, but that's okay.
I stand by it.
You stand by it, yes. So this is a preliminary prototype for that exact thing. Obviously, it's a little big, and there's a lot more work to do on it. But this is an example of, like we said, a brilliant product. At least we're aiming for that. Look, we're not here to create a product that is just going to be successful. We want to come up with a pathway. We want to come up with... Baba! Hold on, we'll do the... Yes? Great, now we got the conclusion of that photo a year ago. I'm not trying to get you guys to invest in this product. I have 99 problems and a pitch ain't one. A couple of you got that one, that's appreciated. Let's think about, what does a magician do? They always try to work on the end, right? They always try to get you to see the flower, but you don't get to see all the independently viable seeds along the way. So what is our flower? Our flower is, let's get this to space agencies, Canadian Space Agency, NASA, SpaceX, Blue Origin, because they haven't replaced their pen in about 50 years. But to get there, right, I could ask you all, hey, can you all chip in $5,000 to buy a percentage of the company, and right, I could do that, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. So instead, let's come up with a viable plan on the way. 3 steps. Step 1, crowdfunding, pretty obvious. We go to people to give them the idea treatment, the early adopters. They come up with their ideas. We sort of like tailor it accordingly. And I'm introducing this concept, which is the final concept, I call reasonforcement, which is every step, everything that you do should have multiple reasons for why you're doing it. Yes, we can sell this pen and get some feedback, but also we want to do all of our manufacturing locally in Canada, which means local jobs, local opportunities, a pipeline so that people at this innovation hub can create their own products and their own innovations. Because Canada used to be a place where we invented things, it built things. Level 2, there's 118.3 million students in 5 target countries, which means that we could present and get people in different countries to work with our own education systems here in Niagara and maybe contribute to some educational exchanges. And then level 3, the final level, would be, let's go to doctors, let's go to CEOs, let's go to all the people who want a premium version of the product that wants to be able to focus with little intrusion. And that's an opportunity to say, oh, they just bought a shipment, let's go and talk to them and let's bring it to them in person. So it's also an idea to network with people. And the point of me illustrating all this is having multiple reasons for each step really allow you to, if one reason fails, right, if one button fails, the rest of it still links the whole system together. There's one final lesson that I'd like to teach you today, which is the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I'll say that one more time. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. That's why if you look at someone's room or someone's office, you've got a pretty good idea of how coordinated they are with their workspace. Or if you look at the way that someone treats a service worker, you've got a general idea how they conduct business. So if this is how much effort, how much focus, how much passion that I will put into an everyday object like a pen, just imagine the focus, the passion, the intention that I want to put into you guys, into being here and helping us as a community grow. Niagara is a tough place to start. Of the 540,000 people living here, 1 in every 13 is on Ontario Works, is on government assistance. Yeah, right? I remember the Foodland slogan when I was growing up here in Ontario was good things, anybody remember? Grow in Ontario, exactly. Good things grow in Ontario. And since coming back, I admit that I've been a little worried. I've been a little stressed because people seem more closed off than they used to be. People seem like more reserved, and we used to have this beautiful community where anyone could say hello to each other no matter what race, what background you came from, and we used to it really felt like we worked together. But also, Niagara is a tremendous place. Of the 250,000 people who work here, 1 in every 5 is self-employed. 1 in every 5 people wants to create their own business so they can make this world a better, more forward-thinking place, like the CEO back there. So hopefully, by injecting QUALIaTY, that meaningful experience into our innovations, into our teams, and into the steps along the way, we will be able to create things that push this future forward. I am terrified to be here in Niagara when I could easily kit off to Saudi Arabia, Japan, China, and make a considerable amount more money and do what I'm really good at. But I'm also here because I fundamentally believe in all of you. And I believe that by working together, by collaborating on product design, on team cohesion, on venture strategy, and by amplifying your unique brilliance, we have the capacity to get clients excited on your behalf and to get people working together here in the Niagara region again. So just to give me that last bit of courage, would everyone please join me in clicking our heels 3 times and saying, "There's no place like Niagara." Okay? We're going to do this 3 times. Are you ready? Number 1, everybody ready? With your heels? Allison, get that heel down. Thank you. All right, ready, set. There's no place like Niagara. One more try again. Ready, set.
There's no place like Niagara.
There's no place like Niagara. And finally, because by working together, Toto, would you work with me on this one? We can bring our inventions to life. Would everyone join me for one more time and Toto by saying, "There's no place like Niagara." Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night. I can take this off now. All right, thank you guys for being here so much. Really, it's so special to have you all.
That was fantastic.
Thank you. I realized that I left this scary guy up the whole time. It really was not an intention. I actually have a LinkedIn QR code if anybody wants to scan that. And you have my email there at the bottom. We are at QUALIaTY.